At the beginning of the drama, we see Hana, a young and kind girl whose gentle face still carries the marks of lifelong suffering. She is an orphan who spent her childhood in an orphanage. When the day finally came that she was adopted, it turned out to be by one of the worst families imaginable, one no one would wish upon their worst enemy. Before our eyes, a bad-tempered woman named Kim constantly insults and oppresses Hana, forcing her to clean, cook, wash, and even feed her younger brother. Hana stands there in silence, unable to speak a word. We watch her trembling with fear, enduring the pain quietly, with no voice to defend herself. Meanwhile, we move to Safi, a rich girl who has everything she could wish for. Her mother is the owner of the largest jewelry company in Korea and a very famous businesswoman, and her father is affectionate and gets her everything she wants. She has no siblings, but she has her cousin So-hee, whom she treats exactly like a sister, giving her anything she doesn't use. The two are just like sisters. One time, Safi wanted to go to the island, so her father agreed and took her and So-hee. When she went to her mother, Myung, and asked her to come along, she refused, telling her she had a lot of work and would join them when she finished. As for Hana, at the same time, she was sitting at home and, as usual, preparing a milk bottle for her brother. But suddenly, her adoptive stepfather called her and told her he wanted her. She left her little brother next to a cup of boiled milk and went to him, asking what he wanted. He made her sing and dance, and he appeared to be drunk. Hana had to obey him so he wouldn't hit and hurt her. But suddenly, while she was singing, she heard her little brother's scream. When they went out, they were shocked to find the cup of boiled milk had spilled on his hand. Kim was shocked and quickly took him to the hospital. When Hana went with her, she kept insulting and hitting her, placing all the blame on her. Hana couldn't speak or do anything because she was an orphan and no one would protect her. Plus, she might be thrown out onto the street, and then she wouldn't find any place to sleep. At that moment, she lost hope that anyone would save her from Kim, but by chance, there was a little boy in the place holding a camera and filming. When he saw what happened, he went to threaten Kim that if she didn't stop hitting her and leave, he would give the video to the police. Kim got very scared and left the place. Hana thanked him and introduced herself, asking for his name. He told her his name was June. She asked him what he was doing at the hospital, and he told her he had a heart condition. She felt sorry for him, but he told her he was having surgery today, and that a very famous businesswoman had donated a large amount of money to them. While they were talking, his mother called him to go and take a picture with the businesswoman, and when he went, we discover that she is Yujin. He took pictures with her, thanked her, and promised that in the future, he would repay this favor. As for Hana, while she was on her way home, she found Kim running after her to continue beating her. She rushed to hide in a car, and it turned out that inside this car were So-hee and Safi. At that time, Safi suggested to So-hee that they get out to watch the sea until her father arrived. At first, So-hee was very worried, but Safi reassured her and told her that nothing would happen and also gave her the hat that she liked. They got out to watch the sea, but suddenly the hat flew off So-hee's head. She decided to go down and get it, but she was very scared and nervous, so Safi went down with her. As for their father, he went to buy tickets, and the people there warned him that a severe storm would hit today and that it would be better for them to go back, but he was determined because he had promised Safi to go to the island today. At that time, Safi searched everywhere until she finally found the hat, but as she was coming down the stairs, she suddenly tripped and fell on her head. So-hee saw her, was shocked, and ran quickly to save her, but she was very scared and terrified. She went to call for anyone, but couldn't find anyone. In the meantime, Safi's father arrived at the car to check on them, but didn't find either of them. He was shocked and searched everywhere until he found So-hee in front of him. He asked her where Safi was, but before she could tell him anything, she was shocked when she saw the ship had already moved. She was very scared that he would think she had hurt Safi, so she lied and told him that she didn't know where she was and that she might have told her she was going to the bathroom. He asked her to go to the car while he went to search for her. He kept searching everywhere but couldn't find her at all. So-hee remained on edge, crying and scared, not knowing what to do, so she was forced to keep this secret so no one would hurt her. At the same time, Safi finally woke up, but she found herself on a boat and kept crying. The owner of the ship heard her, went down to see what was wrong with her, but she just kept crying, saying she was scared and wanted her father and mother. In the meantime, Yujin returned home with So-hee's mother, who told her she had heard on the news today that the weather would not be good at all. Yujin called her husband to check on them and tried to contact Safi's father to ask him if he had reached the island or not. He got nervous and didn't know what to tell her because he hadn't found Safi at all. When she pressed him, he told her the truth that Safi had disappeared and he couldn't find her. She was very shocked and said to him, "What are you saying?" At the same time, Kim's husband managed to find Hana, brought her home, and beat her severely. After he finished, he threw her out into the street in the snow as it was raining, and she just kept crying over her situation. As for Yujin, she quickly went to Safi's father and learned that he was at the police station. She was very shocked. As soon as she arrived, she said she thought it was all a lie, but the matter turned out to be true and they were seriously searching for her daughter. But suddenly, they received a call from a fisherman telling them that there was a lost little girl on his boat, so they thought it must be Safi. So he became very nervous and scared. Before the officer could ask for any information, the line was cut and he told them that the weather was very bad and they couldn't go down to search for her now. As for the ship's owner, he kept reassuring Safi, telling her he would return her to her family safely and not to be afraid or worry about anything. He put a life jacket on her and went to get her something to eat. As for Eugene, she didn't care and decided to go wait on the beach in the hope that Safi would return. But Sohee looked scared and worried, so her mother took her to go back home. On the way, she found her broken down and crying, so she asked her what had happened. At that point, Sohee told her what happened, saying that her hat had fallen, and Safi went down to get it for her and fell on her head, and instead of helping her, she ran away. Her mother was shocked and told her, "What happened? You don't tell anyone, and this secret will not leave the two of us. You didn't do anything." And Safi was the one with bad luck. And it turned out that Sohee's mother was a cruel woman just like Kim, and she decided to hide from Eugene the fact that Safi had indeed fallen on the ship. At the same time, one of the neighbors saw Hana sitting outside. She tried to wake her up to take her to her house, but she found her unresponsive, so she got scared for her and quickly took her to the hospital. It turned out that she had acute gastroenteritis. When Kim found out, she went to her at the hospital to check on her and see if she was still alive or had died, and of course, she was afraid that someone would talk or say something so that a case wouldn't be filed against her and she would get into trouble. In the meantime, a police officer found Safi's hat on a ship. He photographed it and showed it to Safi's family for them to identify it. Eugene was shocked as soon as she saw it and told them that this was her daughter's hat and she had bought it for her the day before she traveled and she was sure it was hers. She asked them about her whereabouts, and the policeman told her that the ship had unfortunately wrecked and its owner had also died, and there was a possibility that her daughter had also died. Eugene collapsed. At the same time, Safi woke up and found herself on a strange island. She didn't remember anything, didn't know what she was doing there, or even who she was. Hana also woke up and the police came to question her, asking if Kim hurt her or did anything to her. Hana was very scared and nervous because she knew that in the end, they would all go back to their homes and she would be left with Kim, who would beat her severely. Therefore, she told them that Kim did nothing to her and was good to her. Of course, she looked nervous and scared, and they were all sure that Kim was the one hurting her, but they had no evidence. Until June suddenly appeared with his camera and told them that he had filmed her hitting her. The policeman was very happy and took her to the police station. The police reassured Hana and promised her that Kim would not get to her again. As for Safi, she kept walking on the island to look for anyone. She found a strange and quiet house, so she entered it and kept looking for something to eat until the owners of the house came and asked her, "Who are you?" It seemed from her appearance that she was clean and her clothes were expensive, so they expected that she might be the daughter of the village chief who was lost. They decided to keep her with them until they saw what they would do. As for Hana, June kept joking with her, playing with her, and taking pictures of her with his camera. She was very happy because she got to know him and she thanked him for standing by her and helping her. But Eugene began to lose her mind and she started seeing Sohee as Safi and running to hug her. Sohee was scared and kept crying. She was terrified. But Sohee's mother came and calmed her down, telling her that Safi was dead and that she shouldn't act like this every time or scare her, because she was afraid that her daughter would confess something and they would all get into trouble. Therefore, she said that she needed to go to her room to calm down a bit, and also so that Safi wouldn't see her in this state when she returned. Eugene heard the words as if in a daze and went. Suddenly, Safi's father told her that the police said they had found a girl with the exact same description as Safi. He went to see the girl at the hospital, but when he arrived, he was shocked because she wasn't his daughter at all. He kept crying and breaking down, begging them to help him find his daughter, and he would give them whatever they wanted. When Eugene heard the news that it wasn't her daughter, she fainted. As for Hana, they decided to take her to a new orphanage. Before she left, June gave her his lucky charm and told her that this charm was what helped him have his heart surgery and its success, and he put it on her to bring her good luck too. At that time, the people of the house informed the police, so they came to take Safi and deliver her to the orphanage until her family appeared. The moment Hana entered, Safi also entered. As soon as Safi got out of the car, there was a ball about to hit her, but Hana ran quickly to save her. Hana bled a lot, so Safi thanked her and helped her, and they decided to become friends. Hana introduced herself and asked her for her name, but she told her she didn't remember anything. But Hana reassured her and told her that her memory might return soon and she would remember everything. She decided to take her to her secret place where she felt at ease, so she took her to the top of a hill and made her watch the landscape, which was very beautiful. But suddenly, the director of the orphanage called for Hana and told her she wanted her urgently. When she went to her, she found a family sitting and waiting for her, and they told her that they were her father's friends and wanted to adopt her. They gave her a simple gift and asked her to think about it, and if she agreed, to call them and they would come to pick her up immediately. Hana was happy with the gift gift and thanked them, and then she went to Safi to show her the gift. She found the director of the orphanage there asking her for her name, and she told her she didn't know. The director asked Hana to choose a name for her, so she said she would name her Dona so that their names would be close to each other because they had become friends. Safi was very happy with the name and liked it, and from that day on, her name became Dona. At the same time, Sohee kept having nightmares about Safi and would wake up terrified from her sleep. Her mother came to her and said, "Don't you dare say anything, or we will be thrown out onto the street and won't find a place to live." And she told her that this was her only chance to get close to Yujin and take advantage of Safi's absence. In the meantime, Yujin completely lost her mind and went to argue with her husband and blamed him, saying that he was the reason. But he also blamed her and told her that if she had stayed here and not come with him, Safi would still be with them now, but she is selfish and only loves and cares about her work at the company. She got very angry and told him that she would not be quiet and would not rest until she found her daughter. She decided to leave the house, especially when she told him that she would give them the money they wanted. He got angry and said that everything for her is money, and that money is the reason they lost their only daughter. But she didn't care and went to distribute flyers everywhere and hung pictures of Safi everywhere and promised that whoever found her, she would give them 100 million, and she kept praying every day that she would return. At the same time, Donna was having the best of times with Hana, and they were playing and laughing. One time, while they were playing in the church, Hana saw a little boy whose shirt button was torn, so she offered to help him and asked him what he was doing here. He told her he came with his family. She found him very cute and befriended him, and he also found her very nice, especially after she took him to her secret place and showed him the natural scenery. She asked him his name, and he told her his name was Sia. But suddenly, his father called him, and she was shocked to learn that he was the son of the man who wanted to adopt her. Not only that, but they also took her on a trip and bought her a lot of things. When she returned, Donna felt upset because she was afraid they would take her. But when Hana noticed that, she told her that she would never leave her, and even if they adopted her, they would still keep in touch with each other and send each other messages. And she gave her a lot of delicious things that Sok's father had brought for her, and they promised each other to always remain friends. After that, Hana said goodbye to her and went with her new family, but before she left, she gave her her hat. So, Donna was very happy and thanked her. At the same time, Sohee started acting like she was Safi, so she entered her room and used her things and turned her picture over so she wouldn't see her face at all. As for Hana, she is very kind, and they quickly get used to her. She gets to know the whole family and discovers that she has a little sister named Jisi, and that their mother is also pregnant with a small child, and they will become a big family just as she had dreamed of for a long time. She helps them and takes care of them, and they also take care of her, and they discover that the best thing they ever did was adopt her. At the same time, Donna starts to feel lonely, so the orphanage director comes to her and tells her that a family from America saw her and liked her, and they want to go out with her for dinner today. If she feels comfortable, they will adopt her, so she agrees to go out with them. At the same time, Yujin starts to remember her daughter and breaks down, especially after the police call her and inform her that they have given up because 2 months have passed with nothing new, and they will withdraw their forces from the sea. She gets angry with them and tells them she will pay them all the money they want, but the policeman doesn't care about anything and hangs up on her. Her world comes crashing down even more when she learns that her husband has left the house, leaving her a letter saying he won't come back until he finds Safi. Thus, she has lost her daughter and her husband, and she is very upset and entering a state of depression. So he takes advantage of this opportunity and tries to get closer to her to make her forget Dawn completely. When Yujin finds out she is going to an important dinner with June, for whom she paid for the surgery, she and Sohee go with her. It turns out to be the same restaurant where Dawn will meet her new family. By chance, Dawn goes to the bathroom, and Yujin is there. Also by chance, she sees her and at first thinks she is imagining things, but she hears the woman with her telling them that they will adopt her and travel with her to America. That's why she tries in every way to prevent Yujin from seeing her at all, neither she nor Sohee, so as not to ruin her plan and have Safi return to her life, leaving Sohee's picture on the shelf. What reassures her is that she heard her say that she has lost her memories, meaning that even if she saw Yujin, she wouldn't remember her. The situation passes without incident, and Donna indeed leaves with her family. The next day, Safi goes to visit Hana and tells her that she is traveling to America. She promises her that from there she will film for her every day and send her a message. They agree to stay in touch with each other and remain friends forever, and nothing will keep them apart. They take a lot of pictures with Seok's camera to keep their memories. 10 years pass since that day. Hana grows up, goes to school, and becomes very smart and an outstanding student. She also learns to play the piano. So he also grows up and is in the same school. She becomes the bully and hurts everyone around her. Anyone she doesn't like, she has them expelled from school because of Yujin's influence, making people believe she is her daughter. One day, a party is held at the school to honor Hana, and she is going to play the piano. So Seok's father and mother prepare, buy flowers, and go to attend the party. At that time, Hana is very happy and waiting for them, but unfortunately, Seok's father gets a call and learns that his company has gone bankrupt and that a very large company has taken it over. He gets sick, feels dizzy, can't concentrate on the road, and has a car accident, and he and his wife die. While Hana is sitting, waiting for them to celebrate the award, she learns that her family has passed away. She runs quickly to see her siblings and finds them devastated, and she stays by their side. When they return home, they find people coming to seize the house, saying that their father had a lot of debt. Now they will be thrown out onto the street, and everyone blames her because they were going to her party, telling her that if they hadn't gone, they would still be alive now. At the same time, Seok goes to his father's partner in the company and begs him to let them keep the house, promising he will pay back everything, but he turns out to be a man and doesn't care. At that moment, Seok chases after him before he drives away and sees Yoo-jin. He is shocked and now knows that she is the woman who took over his father's company to destroy it, since it was a small company, in order to dominate the market. From the moment he saw her face, he decides he will not forget her and will take revenge on her and make her regret it. But she doesn't care, leaves him lying on the ground, and drives away. By chance, her husband Choi is present at the scene and saw everything that happened, but there is nothing he can do. After Yoo-jin leaves Seok on the ground, she goes to her school to honor the outstanding students, which include Sohee and June. Sohee is very jealous and annoyed with June because he is very close to Yoo-jin, who treats him as if he were her son, even though he is just someone she donated money for his surgery. But since then, he has been with her and doesn't leave her side for a moment. He also helps her with everything. Not only that, but he also decided to major in business administration to work with her in her company. As for Hana, she is forced to drop out of school and work part-time jobs to be able to support her siblings and provide them with food and drink. But Jeezy is very upset because they eat boiled potatoes every day and tells her that this is no life. She decides to leave the house. The very young gets angry and tells her that didn't do anything, but she gets very upset and leaves them. At that moment, Sok arrives and sees what happened and feels guilty because he goes to school while Hana is the one working to support him and his siblings. That's why he decides to drop out of school and start working. But unfortunately, on his first day of work, he is treated very badly, gets beaten, and doesn't get paid. When Hana sees his condition, she gets very angry and says that she didn't complain to him and that she wants to do this to repay the kindness they showed her. But Seok doesn't care and tells her that today he doesn't want to have anything to do with her at all and she won't see his face again. Days pass and Hana starts working more to be able to support Chong and Jisi. The only thing that makes these days bearable are the messages Dawn sends her from America. She is very happy for her because she is in a better place now, especially when she learns that she is in a relationship and about to get married. 10 years pass since that day. Hana grows up and we learn that she has learned all languages and works as a tour guide. She is very good at her job and can sell anything to tourists, convincing them to buy. But because life is never fair, she gets a call and learns that Safi has died and left her a young son named Jack. So Hana decides to adopt him and treat him as her own son, spending money on him. Jack is a very sweet and smart child, and everyone around him loves him. But unfortunately, someone bullies him because he doesn't have a mother, and he gets very upset. The teacher calls Hana and tells her, but she tells her that she is not free and is going to pick up very important people from the airport, and as soon as she finishes, she will pass by the nursery right away. At the same time, June is bringing very important people on behalf of Yoo-jin and is driving very fast, cutting Hana off. She gets very angry and runs after him, telling him he must apologize. He apologizes to her in his own way, but she thinks he is making an inappropriate gesture at her, so she keeps running after him. He thinks she is a crazy woman and doesn't pay any attention to her at all. He then drops off the people and so he takes them to board the plane. But suddenly, he finds Hana coming running after him, telling him she won't leave him until he apologizes to her. He tells her that he already did and apologized to her, but she misunderstood. At that moment, Hana feels embarrassed as she walks with the tourists. Suddenly, she sees someone and is shocked and gets nervous, and it seems that they had a relationship. As for Hana, the police arrive and give them both a very expensive ticket. Hana is shocked and tells them she didn't do anything and that she was chasing him because she thought he was a bad person. But the officer doesn't care and gives them both a ticket and leaves. She is shocked by the amount and tells June to pay it. The refuse, saying he is the reason for what happened in the first place, and he is the one who made her chase him quickly. Nobody told her to speak, and she is about to argue with him, but she learns that the tourists have arrived, so she goes quickly to receive them. At the same time, Yoo-jin receives a call from Richard, her company partner, who owns a very large percentage of the company's shares and whom she has never even seen. He informs her that his student, Sok, is coming to Korea, and he will be the one to take care of the company and will be the CEO. He asks her to take care of him. She tells him, "Don't you worry, you're going to tell me what to do with him. I'll hold him in my eyes, it's enough that he's from your side. And it turns out that he is our brother Seok. We learned that he traveled to America, worked, and toiled until he started working with the second biggest person who owns tourism companies in Korea, and this company is his chance to take revenge on her for what she did to him. At the same time, So-hee keeps thinking about what brought Sok here, and is afraid that he will destroy her life after it has finally stabilized. Also, she is very close to marrying June. When her mother notices that she is nervous, she asks her what's wrong, but she evades her and doesn't tell her that Seok is coming from America. As for Hana, she goes to pick up Jack from the nursery and takes him home. When she arrives, she discovers that her sister has stolen all the money from her wallet. She gets very angry and tells her, "Give me the money." She tells her that when she gets paid from the hotel, she will give it to them, but Hana refuses. At that time, Jisi gets angry with her and throws the money in her face. After that, she leaves and goes to the hotel where she works. Suddenly, she gets a call from room 700 and the client tells her that he wants to see her urgently. She gets very nervous, but when she arrives, she is shocked to find her older brother safe. She asks him when he returned from America and what kept him from coming home. He tells her that he doesn't want anyone to know that he has returned until he sorts out his affairs, especially Hana. As for Hana, she is in a relationship with someone named Leo, a young man she met who likes her and treats her very well. She said, "Finally, everything will be fine and we will get married." But his mother, the Scorpion, after finding out that she is raising a small child who is not her son, got very angry with her, berated her, and told her that this marriage will never happen and from today on, she should stay away from her son or she will show her her other face. At that time, she thought his mother was doing this behind his back, but she is shocked to learn that Leo saw what was happening and remained silent. At that time, she knows he is a mama's boy, so she tells him, "I'm the one who doesn't want to continue with you, and from today on, there's nothing between us. Also, all the money you spent on me, I will return it to you." But he pushes it and tells her, "Fine, take the number so you can send me my money." She gets very angry at him, tears up the flowers he had with him, and is very upset and crying. But suddenly, she gets a call from two tourists telling her that they need her urgently at the bar to translate for them. Although this work is not legal, she is forced to do it because of the expenses. It turns out to be the same bar that Zoe is going to meet her friends, but the foreigners start to harass her and bother her. When June sees them, a fight breaks out and a big scene happens. Hana is shocked and goes to break up the fight and protect her tourists, but she gets hit. June sees her and asks her, "What are you doing here?" At that moment, she doesn't know what to say, but so he tells her that she will inform her company that she meets unsavory clients outside the company in their name and takes a lot of money from them. She begs her not to do anything and tells her that this is her only source of income and that she is providing for her siblings. But Zoe doesn't care and tells her that she will also call the police and get her rights. She leaves her with June and walks away. Hana takes the opportunity and sits down to beg him to make Zoe not do anything because this is her only job. He tells her that he will think about it, but the important thing is for her to apologize to her now. He asks her why she works like this, and she tells him that she does this work because she needs money, and if she had known they were not good people, she would not have come to work with them or brought them here. When she goes to her job the next day, she is shocked when the manager tells her that she no longer works with him. He tells her that he has learned the whole truth about her, that she was working behind his back and taking all the profits for herself. She begs him to forgive her and says she won't do it again and that she did all this only because she has a lot of debt. But at that moment, he doesn't care and fires her, telling her that he doesn't want to see her face again today. She then goes to June at his workplace and asks him what made him do that, even though he promised her yesterday that he wouldn't hurt her. He doesn't care and goes to ask Zoe if she was the one who did it. She tells him that she did it indeed to get revenge and that people like her must be punished right away and that the country must be rid of people like them. As for Seok, he begins to plan how he can take revenge on Yujin and make her go bankrupt, the one who made his family suffer. The first thing he knows is that he must separate her from June, her right-hand man. That's why he goes to see what this guy looks like. He is shocked when he comes out and finds So in front of him wearing a wedding dress. He taunts her and asks her who she is marrying. She tells him that she is marrying June. At that moment, he is shocked, and we learn that they were in a relationship when she was in America, and they stayed like that for a year, in love, until they broke up. Suddenly, he sees So-hee with June, and he is very upset and feels jealous. So-hee notices him, so she goes to talk to him and tells him that she doesn't want him to get close to her or let anyone know that there was ever anything between them. In the middle of their conversation, June arrives, and So-hee gets very nervous, but Seok manages to hide her before he sees them together. As soon as his eyes meet hers, she gets nervous, and it seems she still has feelings for So. As soon as June leaves, she immediately goes out and calls him, asking him where he is. He tells her that he is on his way to receive Prince Hassan and his wife, and informs her that these people are very important and they must be taken care of very well. He takes them to the best restaurant with halal food. They see Hana Hana, who turns out to be working there part-time, chopping onions. She runs to June and asks him to help her, but he doesn't care and tells her that if she causes any trouble, he will show her his other face. He asks for her to be sent away. She gets very angry, loses hope in him, leaves him, and walks away. As for Sok, he finally meets Yujin, and as soon as she sees him, he is able to charm her with sweet words, and he promises her that he will grow the company even more. Yujin easily believes his words. As for Hassan, as soon as he takes his wife and they leave the restaurant, refusing to eat anything, June is shocked and asks Soria about the reason. She tells him that she brought the best and most expensive types of meat, and she doesn't understand the problem. Hana overhears them by chance while collecting the trash, and sees that the meat she brought was a bit frozen because it was halal, and that's why they didn't eat it. At that moment, so he is afraid that she will expose her, so she slaps her with a pen. When he asks her what happened, she fabricates the story for her, and tells him that she replaced the meat she brought with other meat, and that's why the prince took his wife and left. At that time, June believes her, but Hana doesn't care. All she cares about is going to the prince and his wife to explain what happened, and she also brings them food from her own account from a halal restaurant. Then they all have lunch together, and the prince asks his private translator to thank Hana, but she tells her there is no need to translate anything for her, because she is very skilled and knows all languages. The translator is very happy and asks her if she is free in the coming 2 days, because she has a lot of work, and the prince and his wife need someone with them around the clock. Hana is happy because a job opportunity has finally come, and she tells her that she is free and has nothing. She becomes their new personal tour guide. But so that her joy is not complete, the pig Leo calls her and demands the money he had lent her, and tells her he will wait until the end of the week. She tells him that before the week ends, she will have prepared the money for him. She thinks about how she will do that, especially since her bank balance is all zeros, but there is a bigger problem now, as she gets a call from the nursery and learns that Jack has caused a problem and hit a child with him. As for Sok, he calls Jisi and asks her to bring Chong and come with her. Chong is shocked when he learns that Sok has returned from America and asks him what made him not come to the house and why he didn't invite Hana with them too. He tells them that he doesn't want Hana to know that he has returned because he has very important matters, and tells them that today he will make up for all the time he was away and will give them all the money they want, and will also buy an apartment and wants them to come and live with him in it. Chong asks him about Hana, and he tells him she is everything here. You two are my siblings, and I will spend on you two. He gets very angry with him and leaves. As for Hana, she cannot leave Jack alone, so she takes him with her to the hotel. At that time, she sees Sak and realizes that he has returned without her knowing, so she doesn't know what he will do, and she is afraid because anger is bad. At that time, Hana sees at the hotel that they want tour guides, so she thinks about applying and then takes Jack and leaves. But suddenly, she finds Chong and Jizi coming out of the hotel, so she asks them what they are doing here and how they were together. Chong gets upset and wants to tell her the truth, but he had promised Siak that he wouldn't talk, so he lies and tells her that they were just having dinner. When they return home, Jack waits until Hana leaves and tells them that he saw them with Siok and that he is upset because they didn't take Hana with them. Chong feels embarrassed and says that he wanted to tell her, but he is his brother. As for Hana, she gets a call from the prince's wife, who tells her that she wants to go out. At that time, she goes to take her on a tour of Korea and dresses her in traditional clothing, and that day is very beautiful, and the prince's wife is happy. But unfortunately, when the prince's wife returns to the hotel, she discovers that she has lost her gold brooch. Hana decides to search for it for her, and when So-hee asks her what she is doing, she tells her that the prince's wife has lost her brooch and she is searching for it. So he accuses her of being a thief, and that's why Hana gets very upset with her and goes to search everywhere. As for Yujin, she calls So-hee and tells her that the young man who follows Richard is here, and asks her to bring June and come. At that time, they go and are very excited to find out who he is. At that moment, she is shocked to find Seok entering to her and learns that he is the new CEO. She is afraid that he will talk or say anything in front of June about their relationship, but he acts as if he doesn't know her and treats her with coldness and neglect the whole time. Yujin leaves them together to get to know each other and leaves. June then starts asking Seok what he was doing in America and if he was in a relationship before or not. As soon as he says that word, he gets very nervous, especially after he tells Seok that he was in a relationship with a girl who literally died for him, and he is sure that she still can't get over him. At that time, So-hee is shocked and afraid that he will say something, but he remains silent and is very happy to see her in front of him, nervous and not knowing what to do. He also increases her anger when he congratulates them on the marriage. That's why when she returns, she tells her pig mother that Seok has entered her life again, and as soon as she finds out, she gets very angry because she hates him and is afraid that he will ruin everything she has been doing for a long time and make her stay away from June. She thinks of a way to get rid of him. At the same time, Hana finally finds the brooch, so she goes to give it to the princess. But at that time, she gets a call from Leo's mother so she gets scared and goes quickly because she knows that Jack is alone at home. She tells her that she has separated from him and it's over and she doesn't want anything from him. She tells her, then return the money you owe and otherwise there will be no good. She reminds her that she owes £100,000. She tells her that she had promised him to return it to him after a week. Leo's mother gets angry with her and starts hitting her. At that time, Jack is shocked and rushes to save Hana from her, but he hears her saying that he is the reason for the problems and that if it weren't for, they would have gotten married. At that time, he feels guilty. When Hana's brothers find out, they get very upset and decide to take revenge on him. They go and destroy his car, write bad words on it, and throw trash on it. Jack also decides to help Hana to collect the money, and that's why he writes posters and hangs them everywhere, saying that he will do any service for $5 and that he is ready to clean pets, or shine shoes, or even collect trash. As for Hana, she finally applies for the job she saw at the hotel and is interviewed for it. The whole family is happy for her, and they prepare her clothes for her first day, making her very elegant and chic so that she can be accepted into the company. As soon as she arrives, she finds June in front of her. He almost gets angry at her and tells her what she is doing here. She tells him that he has no right to do that because she has become a colleague at work and he must respect her because he will become her colleague. At the same time, he sees the CVs of the applicants for the company and discovers that Hana is Seok's sister, the new CEO, and she doesn't understand how she is his sister and comes for an ordinary interview and why he doesn't hire her himself. Before the interview even starts, she tells her that they know she was fired from her previous company. She tells them the truth that she was working illegally. At that time, they are about to fire her, but she begs them to give her one chance. Yoo-jin is present at this interview and sees Hana, and she really catches her attention, especially when So-hee hurts Hana's dignity. At that time, she cannot bear it and tells them that she doesn't want you and resigns and leaves. June gets very upset and tells So-hee that she opened old topics and she knows that Hana has stopped doing that. So-hee responds to him and tells him that she hates her and can't stand her. How will she work with her in the same place? And she starts to flirt with him. When she leaves the company, she is shocked to find Sak in her face. She tells him, when did you return and who called you or told you? He tells her that he has returned a few days ago and was very busy. He starts treating her coldly as if he is not interested, and she is very happy because she saw him after years, but he ignores her and leaves. As for June, he goes to drop So-hee off, so she sends a message to her mother telling her that June is coming from the house with them. She hurries and asks June's mother to hide so that June doesn't know that they are employing her as a maid, and she agrees so that she can arrange June's marriage and remains silent. When Hana returns home and tells them that Sok has returned, she finds that they are not shocked. She knows that they already knew and had dinner with him too. At that time, she is shocked because they didn't say anything before, and she gets very upset. At that time, Chong feels guilty because he loves her and she is the only one who raised him, and he considers her in the position of his mother. The next day, June goes to the company and finds the prince there with his wife and says that they will sign the contract, but they have only one condition, which is that Hana works. As for Sok, he goes to visit them at home, brings out a lot of money and gives it to Hana and tells her that he wants his siblings to live with him, and this money is compensation for the past period and that he will send her an amount every period. She gets very upset with him and tells him that she did that because they are her siblings and she doesn't want anything from him, and she screams at him, but he doesn't care and tells them whoever wants to come with me, let him come, and whoever doesn't want, that's his decision. Jeezy tells him that she will go live with him, and Chong tells Hana that he will never leave her and that he will be with her wherever she goes. At the same time, So-hee goes to ask June about the prince's condition. He tells her that they intend to hire Hana in the company. At that time, she is shocked and gets very angry because she doesn't want that. He doesn't care and goes to her at home, and there Hana is very sad. At that time, he sees a little child there who is cute and adorable and talks to him. Suddenly, Hana arrives and asks him, "What are you doing here?" He tells her that he returned for her and that he discovered that she is a talented employee and that they want her to return to work in the company, and he doesn't know anything about the prince matter. He leaves her and leaves. At that time, she is very happy and starts preparing herself to go to the company. On the same day, it coincides with the appointment ceremony of his brother to be the new CEO, and many very important people attend, and he promises them that he will grow the company. But suddenly, a person enters holding a knife and wants to finish off Yoo-jin, but June dodges it and takes the blow instead. He quickly calls security to come and take him. When So-hee hears, she goes to June to check on him. At that time, by chance, Hana is going to deliver a file to them, and when she sees him, she worries a lot, but he reassures her. Then she takes the file from him and returns to the office. At that time, time, when she returns, she finds them talking about her in a bad way, saying that she entered here through connections, and that she is basically not trustworthy and was working in illegal matters. As for Seok, he finally meets the head of the capital that was the reason for his family's death. When he went and begged him, he didn't care, so he seizes the opportunity to take revenge on him. Of course, at that time, they don't remember his face, because he is like the rest of the boys his age whose families were destroyed because of Yujin and her company. As for Sohee, she takes advantage of the opportunity and also that Hana works with her in the office and humiliates her and makes her go shopping for her and asks her to take her shoe to clean it. When June sees her, he gets very angry at her and takes it from her hand, and at that time, the strap breaks. She is very shocked because it is expensive and she surely won't be able to fix it, but June reassures her and tells her that if Sohee says anything, he will calm her down and tell her that he was the reason. That's why Hana returns the shoe to Sohee, and when she finds it broken, she berates her and throws her on the ground and tells her that it is very expensive and more expensive than her personally, and she can't fix it except in Germany. When June hears the yelling, he calls Sohee, and when she goes to his office, he tells her that he is the one who broke it and that he is not worth it anyway. If she wants one instead, he will buy it, and there is no need for problems in the office. At that time, June repeats to drop Sohee off, and by chance, he meets Suk, so June greets him, but Sohee ignores him as usual. Before they can talk about anything, June gets a call and learns that the delegation that was coming has decided to cancel the hotel reservation. He is shocked because they are very important people, and it was a very big deal that no one knew about except him. He starts to suspect that there is something behind this matter, but he lets it go and leaves. Seok takes advantage of the opportunity and tells Sohee that he wants to talk to her. When she goes, she doesn't believe it either and calls Hana and makes her work like a maid, and Hana can't speak or even work and defend herself, so she asks him about the reason he was evading her because of, and this allows her to hurt Hana as she pleases, and she is comfortable and sure that no one can do anything to her. As for Hana, she gets a call from Leo who tells her that he wants to see her urgently. When she goes to give him the money he was demanding, she asks him not to let his mother come near her family again or there will be no good. He tells her that he wants to apologize to her and asks her to sit with him for a bit, since this is the last time he will see her. Every time she refuses, he shows her the video he filmed of her siblings destroying his car and tells her that he will submit it to the police and make them pay a large compensation. She is forced to go with him to find out what he wants now. He takes advantage of the opportunity and tries to get close to her and harass her. Hana is shocked and runs away. June passes by and sees what happened and saves her from Leo's hand and threatens him that he will call the police now and imprison him. He apologizes to him and tells him that he will not approach her again. Hana takes advantage of the opportunity and makes him delete the video and tells her that if she sees him after that, she will report him to the police. But a rumor spreads in the company, and Sohee takes advantage of the opportunity and keeps insulting her on the way there and back, and spreads rumors about Hana that she is not good. Hana remains silent and enduring until she gets a call from Sok. She is very happy because finally he will cross her, and she is very excited until he surprises her and tells her that he doesn't want her to work in the hotel again. She asks him the reason, and he tells her that the company and the hotel will be destroyed, and the tourism company too, and he will not leave her anything. She thinks he is joking, but he tells her that he is serious and that he worked with her to destroy her. When she asks him the reason, he refuses to tell her. She gets very upset and leaves, and keeps thinking about his words all night until she snaps out of the thinking and decides not to care. When Hana goes to the company the next day, she goes to ask whether she should prepare tea or coffee today, but June comes running and tells her that he needs her if she speaks Chinese because a delegation is coming to the hotel and they need her urgently. When they go to see them, they discover that all the reservations they had made have been cancelled, and of course, all of this is because of Sohee, who lets him know that this is just the beginning. Hana goes to talk to him and tries to persuade him to change his mind, but he tells her that he doesn't care and that this is just the beginning. Here, Hana decides to help them. She continues to search in the neighboring hotels until she finally finds places and books them for them, and she stays by their side to provide them with everything they want. Thanks to her, the problem is solved, so June is very happy and thanks her, and decides to invite her to dinner. At that time, they get a little closer to each other. With the passage of time, Hana begins to adapt to her work, and June also entrusts her with many tasks. One time, on her way to the company, she meets Yujin by chance, and she didn't know that she was the director, so she talks to her very kindly. Yujin is impressed by her kindness because she reminds her of her daughter, who is exactly her age. When Hana goes up to her office, she is shocked to learn that the one who was with her in the elevator is the president, so she is shocked and afraid that she has messed things up. But on the contrary, Yujin is very happy with her and praises her, and this angers Sohee more and annoys her very much, so she becomes furious but can't do anything. In addition, a rumor spreads in the company that Hana is Seok's sister, so everyone treats her very well and respects her and stops bothering her. On top of that, she gets a call from the nursery from Jack's teacher asking her to come immediately, so Hana becomes very nervous and anxious and doesn't know whether to go or not. One of her colleagues, volunteers, and tells her that he will work in her place until she returns, and when So-hee returns, he will tell her that. Hana thanks him very much and goes directly to the nursery and discovers what Jack was doing and that he was distributing papers to his friends, written on them that he would do anything for them for $5, and that he was ready to polish shoes or take care of pets. Hana is shocked and wonders what made him do that, and asks him if she has neglected him in anything. He cries and tells her that he wanted to help her pay off her debts. At that moment, Hana completely breaks down because she put him in this situation and tells him that she has paid everything and that the creditors and his mother will not come here again. And she hugs him because he is the only one who felt for her, and although he is a small child, he tried to help her as much as he could. Hana is very moved and gathers all her siblings and forces them to eat together. When Hana returns to the company the next day, So-hee learns that she left yesterday without permission, so she bullies her and forces her to bring her jacket from her house. Because Hana doesn't want more trouble, she goes immediately. When she arrives, she finds that Mi-jin the pig is there, so she tells her that So-hee wants the purple jacket. She tells her, "Wait a little until I finish and bring it to you." Afterwards, when she comes out, she gives her money and tells her to take public transport. Hana thanks her, but she remains insistent, and to make her comfortable, Hana takes it. But when she opens the envelope, she is shocked because it contains a lot of money, and she thinks about returning it, but she doesn't want more trouble, so she goes quickly to work. As soon as she arrives, she gives So-hee her jacket and gives her the envelope as well, and tells her that her mother gave it to her, but she doesn't want to use the money in it because the amount is very large. So-hee takes it from her and throws it in the drawer. As for Seok, he calls Richard and tells him that the plan is going well, and that he has cancelled many contracts and lost the company a good amount of money, and that what is to come is greater. Richard is very happy and encourages him. As for Hana, So-hee suddenly comes and gathers them all and tells them that money has been stolen from her drawer. She begins to search all the bags until she finds it in Hana's bag. At that time, she accuses her of theft, so Hana is surprised and tells her that this envelope is the one she originally gave her, so what would make her steal it? But So-hee doesn't care and says she will call the police. At that time, Hana tries to prove her right and goes down to review the cameras, but she finds that the recordings have been erased. Hana begins to look for another way to prove her innocence. When Seok sees what happened with Hana, he goes to So-hee and yells at her and tells her to stop bothering Hana. She tells him, "You started it, and you intend to destroy my life, and that's why I will destroy your sister's life," and leaves him and leaves. As for Hana, she goes after her and tells her, "I am sure I didn't take anything, and certainly someone else is the one who took it and put it in my bag." She asks her, "And how did you know?" So she tells her that the camera recordings have disappeared, and if the police investigate the matter, they will discover that the matter is staged. So he gets very nervous and scared and calls the owner of the cameras and asks him if he got rid of them, and he confirms to her that he got rid of them and they will not find anything ever. As for Yu-jin, she receives a message from the investigators who are investigating Safi's case, and they tell her that they have found a girl with the same specifications as her daughter and ask her to undergo a DNA test. She is very happy, and Mi-jin is surprised and asks her what makes her so happy. So she tells her that she found Safi. She tells her, "And what confirms to you that it is her?" So she tells her that she dreamed of her, smiling at her, and she is sure that she is her daughter. At that time, So-hee begins to get more nervous and anxious. As for Hana, she remembers the last time she met Donna when she returned from America and told her that she had given birth to a beautiful boy and that her memories were gradually returning to her, so she decided to search for her family. She was very happy because she would finally be reunited with her family until the worst news of her life came to her, which was that Donna had an accident before she reached them and left behind a small child, Jack. Since that time, Hana decided to take care of him forever and raise him as if he were her own son. Even if she lost anything and anyone, she would give up everyone for Jack. For this reason, she is very upset because she is afraid that they will fire her from the company after she has finally settled down because of the stolen envelope, especially since when she arrived at the company, everyone treated her very badly and moved her office outside, and she lost hope that anyone would help her. Suddenly, Hana receives a video clip of someone showing So-hee taking the money from her drawer and putting it in Hana's bag. She is very happy because she now has evidence she can use to prove her right. She thinks about publishing it on the internet and exposing her so that she stops bullying her, but she knows that So-hee is strong and arrogant and might take the phone and smash it into 100 pieces, and no one will be able to talk to her because she is a bully and fierce. So Hana remains silent and decides to endure, but another idea comes to her to get her right back without any problems. Therefore, she goes to So-hee and apologizes to her and tells her that she gave her another envelope completely different from her mother's envelope, and that the envelope she has is Jack's nursery money, and thus she did not steal anything. Of course, because So-hee knows the truth and that if she continues with the matter any longer and bullies her, the matter will get bigger. She decides to end the matter, as she has achieved what she wanted anyway, and made Hana apologize to her in front of everyone and humiliated her after the problem was finally solved. Hana decides to take what's left of her salary and go buy some nice clothes and get a few outfits. Hana goes to choose the outfit she wants, and when she comes back, she can't find Jack, so she gets very worried about him, but she learns that he is standing with his grandmother. She is surprised and looks for him and finds him standing with the director Yoo-jin, so she gets very nervous and immediately greets her. Yoo-jin is surprised that she respects her so much, and Jack asks her who this is, so she tells him that she is her boss at work, so he also greets her. Yoo-jin is happy then and decides to buy the outfit she had tried on. Hana thanks her, and Jack also gives her his ball, and she is impressed by him because he is a smart and polite child. Afterwards, Hana takes him and they go to the market to buy some things, but her bag is swapped with another woman's bag. As soon as she goes to return it and asks about it, she learns that the lady with whom she exchanged the bag is her neighbor in the building opposite them. She immediately goes and knocks on her door, and then she sees June in her face and discovers that she lives near him. She apologizes to him for mixing up the bags, takes her bag, and leaves. At the same time, Yoo-jin gets a call from the investigator, who tells her that unfortunately, her DNA sample has been contaminated all this time, and that's why they haven't been able to reach her daughter. At that time, she is shocked, faints, and loses hope of ever finding her. At the same time, Choi returns from America and arrives home at the same moment that Yoo-jin gets sick, so he takes her to the hospital, and we discover that he is the one who called and told her that the DNA was contaminated so that she would stop searching. As soon as June learns that Yoo-jin is sick, he goes quickly to the hospital to check on her. At the same time, the investigator calls Hana and tells her that there is an old lady with the same specifications and that her DNA is very close to Jack's, and they decided to do the analysis. But unfortunately, before they could take a sample from her, the grandmother dies. Hana goes to the hospital to receive her body and bury it. She then goes to the doctor to receive the body from her, and Jack sits alone. By chance, Choi is in the same place, so he greets Jack and talks to him very kindly. Choi is impressed by him and asks him his name, and he replies, Jack. When he asks him about his mother, he tells him that she is deceased and that he now lives with his mother's friend and that she is with the doctor. Afterwards, Hana arrives and apologizes to him, thinking that Jack bothered him, but he tells her that he is a nice child. Hana takes him and they go to throw his grandmother's ashes in the river, and then they hold a funeral, but no one attends except Hana and her siblings. At the same time, Choi decides to disguise himself, put on a beard, and go to the orphanage where Donna grew up and asks there for any information about her, but the orphanage director tells him that she doesn't know anyone with the name he said, so she won't be able to help him with anything. As for So-hee, she is shocked when she learns that Seok lives in the apartment opposite them in the building, where she will get married, and he continues to bother her with his words and makes her nervous from the slightest thing. As for June, when he learns that Jack's grandmother has died and they held a mourning, he gives her an envelope with money and asks her to give it to Jack. She thanks him very much because he is the only one who cared. After that, when they return home, she gives him the envelope and he tells her, I don't want it. She tells him that this is his money and he has the right to use it at any time, and if he needs anything, she will bring it to him. The next day, while she is taking him to the nursery, she is shocked when she looks at the tests and knows the result of the DNA and discovers that the lady she buried yesterday was not his grandmother. Hana is very happy and feels that there is hope that they will find Jack's grandmother still alive. As for Choi, he manages in his own way to discover that he has a grandson named Jack, and he now lives with Donna's friend, who is Safi, meaning Hana, who adopted him after his mother's death, and he lives with her. He continues to search until he can discover his location. When he goes to him, he discovers that he is the same child he met some time ago and liked, and he now understands what made him like him so much. He begins to think about how to get close to Jack, so he goes to the nursery where he is and disguises himself as Santa Claus and buys gifts for all the children. When it's Jack's turn, he gives him his gift, and as soon as he gets close to him, he can't bear it anymore and breaks down crying. Jack is surprised and runs towards him and hugs him in front of his colleagues. At the end of the day, the director thanks him for what he did and gives him money, but he tells her that he doesn't want anything and that what happened today was from his heart and that he doesn't ask them for anything, and if they need anything for the children at any time, he is there. At that time, he leaves her his number and a large sum of money to buy things for the children for the holiday. On his way to the door, he finds Jack coming after him and telling him that he didn't like the gift and wants to exchange it. Choi is surprised and tells him, "What do you want? I'll get it for you right away." He replies, "I don't want money. I want my Aunt Hana to be comfortable and happy, and I want to reach my grandmother." Choi is very upset because he wishes he could grant him everything he wishes for, but he is unable, and he is afraid that someone will discover that this is Safi's son and he will be harmed like her. Therefore, he decides to watch him from a distance. As for June, at the same time, he decides to reward Hana and they go out for dinner on his account and they enjoy their time very much. At Yoo-jin's, she also sends several messages to Choi and wishes he would reply to her and let her know where he is, and she tells him that she is close to finding their daughter, but he doesn't reply lie or care. At the same time, June receives a call telling him that Prince Hassan wants to see him. When he goes, he takes Hana with him. There, the prince thanks her and asks her about her work. Hana is surprised and asks how he knew she works at the hotel, and he tells her that this was an essential condition for them to make an agreement with June, which is that she would be responsible for the translation. After she discovers that they hired her at the request of the prince and not because of her talent, she becomes very sad. June tries to calm her down, so she tells him, "What will you do now that they have imposed me on you, and they may fire me at any time as soon as the contract ends?" He tells her that he will not allow that, and that he will never let her go, and that she is truly talented. He asks her to get in the car to talk in a quiet place, but she refuses, so he forces her in. While she was arguing with him, she gets a call from the police station and learns that Jack is there. When she arrives, she is shocked and also finds June's mother. June is surprised and asks them what they are doing here. She tells him that Jack was hungry, so she made him come to eat with her, and while she went down to throw out the trash, a motorcycle passed by quickly and almost hit Jack. Not only that, but the police also informed the orphanage of the news, and it is likely that they will come to take Jack from Hana. Hana gets very nervous and scared, but June calms her down and tells her that his mother didn't mean anything. She tells him that she understands, but the important thing now is that Jack doesn't go from her. He promises her that they will get him back. The situation passes, and they all reconcile. At that time, Hana apologizes to the orphanage director, so she leaves Jack with her and warns her that if anything else happens, she will take him and will not remain silent. Afterwards, June takes them all home and is shocked when he learns that Jack is not her real son, but the son of her friend. He is surprised how a woman like her is willing to work and sacrifice anything for a child who is not of her blood. And every day he is more certain than the one before how kind and very good a person Hana is. The next day, she decides to wear the outfit that Yujin brought her and go to work in it. Jack is very happy whenever he sees her and tells her that she is beautiful and that the outfit suits her very well. But unfortunately for her, So-hee appears wearing the same outfit, so she sets her mind on Hana and decides to ruin her outfit so that she doesn't wear it again. And since the day started tense from the beginning, So-hee keeps chasing Hana until she spills coffee on her dress and ruins it. So Hana gets very angry and explodes. At that time, June sees her and tries to console her and tells her that he will try to talk to So-hee to calm her down a little. The employees see this situation and rumors spread that June and Hana are very close and that she probably has a crush on him and is trying to get his attention, and that's why she dresses like So-hee and acts like her. And So-hee was about to spill coffee on her again, but this time, Hana stands up to her firmly and retaliates, so she decides to treat her the same way later on, according to the principle of the one who starts is the oppressor. What happened reaches Soku warns So-hee that if she bothers Hana again, she will see another side of him that she will not like. At the same time, Choi goes to the company sneakingly, finds Yujin in front of him and hides quickly before she sees him. He hears her talking to her lawyer and saying that Choi has not yet responded to her email, so he decides to respond to her and sends her an answer. When she sees the answer, she is shocked and is sure that it is from Choi because of the seal on it, so she feels very scared and anxious, and what she feared was what actually happened, because when she opens it, she discovers that Safi has been dead for years and that she will never be able to find her, but she has a grandson and she must compensate. This is what makes her hold on after she had lost hope of finding Safi and wanted to end her life. She also finds on the back of the answer pictures of Safi with her second family when she was in America, in addition to the birth certificate and DNA analysis. She can't control herself anymore and faints. At that moment, June arrives and is terrified when he sees her in this state, so he calls the ambulance quickly, but she refuses and tells him that she wants to stay at home, so he takes her and stays by her side. She asks him if he had seen the papers, and he replies that he saw them and knew that her daughter had died, but he reassures her and confirms that he will not tell anyone. He also tells her that he collected the papers and put them back in the envelope and brought them with him so that no one would see them. She thanks him and tells him that she needs his help so that they can reach her grandson, so he promises her that he will help her and do everything she wants, and that he will not tell anyone about the matter, and warns him not to tell anyone, especially Yujin and So-hee. When June comes out of her room, he is shocked when he finds his mother in front of him, so he asks her, "What are you doing here, and why are you wearing these clothes?" Mugin comes from behind her and tells him that she came to help them only, but of course they were in agreement. June's mother takes advantage of the situation and employs her as a maid, only to be able to marry June and So-hee, and he doesn't know anything about all this. As for June, he decides to go to the address where the orphanage where Safi used to be is, and asks there for anything related to her. The person in charge tells him that she knows nothing about the matter except that a girl with the same specifications he mentioned was was adopted by someone a long time ago, and her name was Donna, and since then, she has not returned. She also tells him that she left a drawing before she left, so they go to see the drawing that was photographed on the phone and written on it. Hana and Donna are friends forever. At the same time, Yoo-jin goes and tries to inquire about the answer that caused her to faint, so Moo-jin tells her that the answer is normal and there is nothing in it, just a threat. But Yoo-jin feels that there is something wrong, and knows that these threats have been reaching her for a long time, and she was never afraid of them. But something has changed this time, and she feels that the matter is related to Safi, so she decides to find that envelope by any means. June tells Yoo-jin what happened at the orphanage, and tells her that her daughter's name was Donna, and she lived in the orphanage until she grew up, got married, and had a child, then traveled to America, and had returned to search for her family, but had an accident, and the driver fled. Yoo-jin thanks him very much, and asks him not to tell anyone, and first of all, Yoo-jin. After that, she contacts Choi, and sends him a message saying, "I am sure you are the one who sent me the answer and told me that Safi died. I want you so that we can reunite what is left of the family, and raise our grandson together. I am very scared for him, and I hope to see him, and please, if my grandson is close to me, send him to me." And she remains hopeful that he will send her another answer. As for June, as soon as he shows her the picture, she is indeed sure that her daughter, Safi, was in that orphanage, and decides to visit it herself. There, she pretends that she came to donate, and asks about a humanitarian case to donate to. When she asks about Donna, the person in charge denies it and says that she knows nothing, and that the old records that were in the place have burned and they cannot reach anyone who was there before. When they finish their visit and return to the company, they find Hana still sitting, waiting, and looking very hungry, so June decides to take her to dinner on his account. He calls So-hee and tells her that their wedding photos have arrived, and asks her to go get them from the house. When she gets there, she doesn't find the photos, so she asks the photographer where he put them, and then understands that the photos have reached Sok's house. She goes to get them from there, so Sok takes the opportunity and asks her to come in. At this time, June and Hana are having a good time together and getting to know each other more, and Hana also tells him that the funeral they held was not for Jack's real grandmother, and that there is still new hope that she is alive. At the same time, Sok tries to provoke So-hee's tension and play with her feelings, and acts as if he is attracted to her to give himself a chance and make her leave June and return to him. She seems very nervous and still attracted to him, but she pretends to be strong and says that she will never return to him, and that she will marry June, and that he will regret it and lose everything. She doesn't care about him and takes the photos and leaves, but as soon as she enters the house, she begins to think about him and their memories together when they were in a relationship in America, and it seems that she originally doesn't love June, but she is forced to be with him because he is the only one who will inherit the company if Safi does not appear. As for June, he continues to talk to Hana about family, and their discussion is deep and warm, and it appears in both of them that their hearts are kind and they love their families and helping others, and that there are many common qualities between them. Not only that, but Hana takes him to her favorite place where she releases her negative energy, which is a children's amusement park, and tells him that she loves jumping and moving a lot until she releases all the negative energy inside her. Suddenly, he receives a message from So-hee saying that she is waiting for him, and he replies, "I'm on my way." But the sky rains, so he is forced to wait and takes Hana with him, but she thanks him and tells him that she will leave, so he gives her his jacket to warm her from the cold. After that, he goes to So-hee, who asks him about the jacket, and he lies to her and says that it is in the car. When Choi softens towards Yoo-jin, he sends her a picture of her grandson, and as soon as the picture is downloaded, she is shocked because it turns out to be the same child she met before in the shopping center with Hana. Only then does she become sure that her feeling was not wrong, and that this child is not like any other child she has met, but he is the child she loved at first sight and wished to have a grandson like him. She decides to go to him, but she finds a warning message from Choi to the effect that if anyone knows that this is Safi's son and the heir, they might harm him and get rid of him as they got rid of Safi. She is terrified and decides not to tell anyone except June, and also decides to see him from a distance and not get close to him. She asks June to go with her and tells him that she found her grandson, and he asks her about him, and she answers that it is Jack who is being raised by Hana. June is shocked and then knows that Hana, who was in the drawing, is the same one who works with them, so they decide to go see Jack. As for Hana, at the same time, she decides to return June's jacket after washing it. Mugen takes advantage of Yoo-jin's, Safi's mother, absence from the house and tries to open the safe, but she can't, so she hires a thief to help her. At this time, Jack and Chung are sitting by themselves, and the landlady comes to them and tells them that they have a week to leave because the house will be sold. Jack gets very angry and tells her that she should have at least told them a month ago, but she doesn't care and leaves them and leaves. When So-hee arrives and sees the jacket with Hana, she knows that June had laughed at her and lied about it yesterday when he said it was in the car and that he was with Hana. Therefore, she comes down and insults her, saying, "If you don't stay away from my husband, you man-stealer, I will level you with the ground." Hana replies, "Calm down a little. June doesn't interest interest me at all, and we are just work colleagues and nothing more, and there are no feelings between us. Be a little more confident in yourself. So-hee gets angry at her response, so she decides to tarnish her reputation. She goes to Jun's mother and warns her about this girl and tells her that she is a man-stealer and that she is in a relationship with another man and has given birth before, and the child with her is not her friend's son, but her son whom she gave birth to illegitimately, and that is why she hides him. Jun's mother tells her that she will not talk to her again and will not allow her to enter the house. As for Yujin, she finally gets to see her grandson. When he comes out to play with the ball, she wishes she could get close to him, but she can't. Suddenly, Hana arrives, and Jack quickly tells her that the landlady wants to evict them. Yujin hears them and wants to help them, but she doesn't know how. Choi also hears them and decides to help them. When Yujin sees them going to the supermarket, she goes with them and pretends that it's just a coincidence and takes the opportunity to greet Jack and invite them to lunch. Hana is surprised and asks her about the occasion, so Yujin tells her that she is a hard-working employee and she is very impressed with her. When they start eating, Jack starts doing cute gestures and asks her if she has friends, and she answers no, so he tells her, "Then from today, I am your friend," and feeds her with his hand. At that moment, Yujin breaks down and can't take it anymore, so she goes to the bathroom and cries bitterly because everything Jack does reminds her of Safi exactly. Hana goes after her and tries to console her and asks her if anything is bothering her, and she answers that she is a little tired and nothing more. Then she thanks Hana. Hana is surprised and doesn't understand the reason for the thanks, but she goes along with her. After lunch, Jack puts a cute sticker on her hand. When Yujin returns home, she is very happy, but when Mugin sees her and asks her about the sticker, she avoids her and tells her that she put it because she was injured, and asks June to do a DNA test to make sure that this is her grandson, although she is sure of it in her heart, but she wants her heart to be at ease. As for Mugin, she does not feel at ease, so she asks So-hee to find out from June where he was with Yujin. When So-hee tries to trap him in a conversation, he is very smart and does not give her any useful information, so she gets very annoyed and leaves him and leaves. She then goes to tell Mugin that Hana has started to get close to June and that the director, Yujin, has started to like her and buy her things, and she is afraid that she will snatch June from her. As for the director, Yujin, when she learns that tomorrow is the anniversary of Hana's parents' death, she sends her a lot of things to use in commemorating the anniversary. Chong and Jisi are very happy with the large amount of food, and Sok also comes and attends with them for the first time in a long time. When he asks them where they got all this food, they tell him that the director, Yujin, is the one who sent it, so Sok gets very angry and loses his temper, saying, "How can she kill the victim and walk in his funeral when she is the reason for my parents' death?" When Cheong asks him the reason, he refuses to answer, so Cheong thinks he is doing it to break their joy, so he insults him and tells him that he does not want to be his brother today and does not want to see his face again, and kicks him out of the house and asks him to return to the apartment he was in. Everything collapses at that moment, and Jack gets very scared and is terrified of the scene until he wets himself and is very anxious and nervous, but Hana calms him down and tells him that any child his age, if he saw what happened, would also be scared and would have done more than that, and that there is no need to be ashamed. As for Sok, he goes to drink and loses consciousness on the way, so So-hee passes by chance and sees him and decides to return him to his apartment. As she is about to leave, he grabs her hand and begs her to stay with him, but she doesn't care and pushes his hand away and leaves. At that time, the test results appear, and Yujin indeed confirms that Jack is her grandson, and she begins to look for a way to keep him close to her. Her joy increases when Hana sends her a bouquet of flowers to thank her for the food she brought yesterday. When So-hee sees the flowers, she asks Yujin who brought them, and she replies that it was Hana, and she is very happy as she talks about Hana's kindness and gentleness. Of course, So-hee feels extreme anger and jealousy and thinks of a way to get rid of Hana. She tries to tarnish her reputation in front of Yujin by saying that she is raising an illegitimate child, but Yujin doesn't care about her words and tells her that she admires Hana and will appoint her to be the new supervisor for the upcoming delegation from China. As for June, he goes to director Yujin and tells her that he spoke with Jack and asked him what he would do if he found his grandmother, and he answered that he would never go to anyone without Hana because he loves her very much and is attached to her. But Yujin doesn't care and tells him that she will think of a way to bring the two together. At the same time, Choi goes to visit Safi's grave, and there he begins to remember how he met Seok. As he was walking sadly, a car almost hit him, but Sok saved him at the last moment. When Sok opened his bag, Choi found inside it newspaper clippings, photos, and a lot of information about Yujin, so he knew that he was the son of one of Yujin's victims, who took over his family's company and destroyed their lives. When Choi spoke with Yujin about them, she didn't care at all, so he decided then to leave her and help Sok under the pseudonym Richard to ensure that Sok would stay by his side and not act without his permission, and at the same time restore his his right and teach Yujin a lesson to stop oppressing people. June asks Yujin how she will get Hana closer to her, and she tells him that she has an idea and that she will lie to Hana and claim that she is her long-lost daughter, especially since Hana knows nothing about her family and was raised her whole life in an orphanage. But June doesn't like this idea. He refuses to lie to Hana, who will be very angry with them if she finds out the truth, as she has done nothing to deserve this treatment. But as usual, Yujin only cares about herself. As for Mu-jin, the thief who will open the safe for her arrives, but unfortunately, she finds nothing important inside. Yujin arrives at the last moment and foils her plan, so she cannot complete searching the room. Meanwhile, Yujin finds out the location of Safi's grave and goes to it, and when she arrives, she is shocked by the number of pictures there. Pictures of her daughter as a child, when she grew up with Hana and with Jack. She can't control herself and breaks down in tears. June asks Hana to talk together, and when she goes to him, he asks her if she knows anything about her mother, and she replies that she was unfortunately born to find herself in an orphanage. When he asks her if she wishes to meet her, she tells him that of course, she has been waiting for that day for a long time and wishes to see her, but she considers it a dream because if her mother were alive, she would have searched for her a long time ago. But it seems that her family has abandoned her and doesn't want her. Suddenly, Yujin looks around and finds white flowers and remembers that these flowers were Safi's favorite and that her father used to bring them to her, so she is sure that he has returned from America and is around her but in disguise, and decides to search for him. When she returns to the office, she finds June waiting for her, and he tells her that he can help her make Hana her daughter, but she must tell her the truth from the beginning. Yujin refuses and says that Hana may not agree if she knows the truth. June is very annoyed because he doesn't want to lie to Hana, but at the same time, he can't do anything. When Hana returns home, she gets ready to pack her things in preparation for leaving. The next day, she learns that someone has bought the house and decided to live with them, as he will only take one room from the apartment, and the good thing is that he has a job and is not around all the time. It turns out that this person is Grandpa Choi, who did this to save the house from being sold, and at the same time to finally be by his grandson's side and be able to help him. When Hana goes to the company, June asks her why she was upset and nervous the day before, and she tells him that her house was almost lost, but a kind person bought it and decided to live with them, and he is very happy for her. At that moment, Mu-jin sees them and hears their conversation and notices the gentle way June talks to her, so she gets very angry and goes to her and slaps her across the face in front of everyone and insults her, saying that she is a man-stealer and wants to snatch June from So-hee. Their voices rise, and Yujin is shocked when she sees Mu-jin hitting Hana. June gets very angry and goes to call So-hee and tells her that what her mother is doing is unacceptable, and she replies, "Look at yourself first. No one asked you to give her your jacket, and no one asked you to treat her kindly. Because of you, she has become arrogant towards me." She expected him to take her side, but he doesn't care and tells her that if her mother repeats her action, they will see a completely different reaction. Yujin also insults Mu-jin and wipes the floor with her dignity and forces her to apologize to Hana, otherwise she will ban her from entering the company. But instead of apologizing, Mu-jin continues to harass Hana again. When Hana tries to put her in her place, Mu-jin almost slaps her again, but June intervenes and holds her hand and tells her, "If you do that again, you will not enter the company," and protects Hana. So he goes to try to solve the problem, so she throws money at Hana and tells her that this is the price of her treatment, but Hana replies that she has dignity and does not want to take anything from her, and that she will treat herself and will not allow her or her mother to insult her again, and that she will take legal action if it happens again. This situation makes Yujin succeed in convincing June to help her make Hana her daughter, saying that at least no one will be able to hurt her or treat her in this bad way because she is an orphan, and she begs him to think about it again. The news spreads in the company, and Sok finds out that Mu-jin slapped his sister Hana across the face and injured her, so he gets very angry and loses his temper and feels that he is the reason for what is happening to her because she is his sister and that Mu-jin is taking revenge on him through her. At the same time, Hana decides to get a break from this situation, so she goes to June and tells him that she doesn't want him to care about her again and that they will not talk even outside of work. As she is about to leave, he stops her and tells her that unfortunately he will not be able to stop caring about her and will continue to care about her forever because the matter is beyond his control, so she leaves angry. As for Sok, he decides to escalate the situation and restore Hana's right, so he asks his lawyer to file a lawsuit against Mu-jin. When Hana finishes her work and passes by to pick up Jack from the nursery, she meets June's mother by chance, so she greets her, but she ignores her and greets only Jack and gives her a nasty look from top to bottom as if she had committed a crime. Hana doesn't care about her behavior and goes along with her, then leaves. When she gets home, she finds her brothers Jisi and Chong, and they tell her that they are inviting her to lunch on their account because they found out what happened and want to make her happy. After they finish, Hana passes by the park and starts playing and jumping and says that she wishes she had a mother. By chance, June passes by and sees her crying, but he doesn't want to disturb her, so he decides not to tell her that he saw her and leaves. As for Mugin, she begins to search the house for the papers that reached Eugene to find out what happened and whether she was able to reach her daughter or not, but she finds nothing in the office, so she guesses that the papers are in the company office and decides to go there. When she arrives, the security men refuse to let her in, so she is very surprised and they tell her that she has been banned from entering the company by order of the director. She gets very angry and starts insulting them and raising her hand to them, saying, "How is that? My daughter is upstairs. Do you know who I am? I am the mother of the director's secretary." But no one cares, and June comes and tells her, "Another word and I will call the police for you. Please leave." She remains defiant until she receives a call from the police, informing her of a lawsuit filed against her for assault and battery. She goes to Eugene and begs her to stand by her side and forgive her, but Eugene refuses and tells her that she is the one who is wrong and must bear the consequences of her mistake, and that she asked her from the beginning to apologize to Hana in front of everyone, but she refused and was arrogant, and now she must bear the consequences. And so, Mugin is imprisoned, so he goes to Siak and tells him that her mother is ready to get on her knees and apologize to Hana in front of everyone, just so they would withdraw the lawsuit. But he doesn't care and tells her that the matter is out of his hands and is now with Hana. At the same time, June goes to talk to Hana and she tells him that the matter does not concern him and that what happened has happened. He asks her about her family again, and she is surprised by his repeated question. Afterwards, he tells her that Eugene has booked an appointment for her at a restaurant. When she goes, she finds Sohee's mother, Mugain, apologizing to her in front of the director and everyone, and thus she regains her right and dignity. Chong goes to Seok at the company and apologizes to him for what happened and for hitting him, and promises not to repeat his action, then gives him an apple and runs away quickly. Seok is happy and feels kindness towards his brother and decides to forgive him. At that time, Hana takes the opportunity and says that she agrees to the reconciliation on the condition that she separates from them and does not work in this place again. Eugene agrees and tells her that she was going to terminate her employment anyway. When Hana returns to June's house to return something his mother forgot, June's mother takes the opportunity to talk to her and remind her to stay away from her son because he is about to get married. By chance, June hears their conversation and is very annoyed with his mother and brings Hana into the house, then apologizes to her. She tells him that she is used to such situations and that every mother loves her children and this is normal, but he can't bear it anymore, and tells her that he will help her find her family, and decides to listen to Eugene's words and lie to Hana and make her believe that Eugene is her mother. And so the series ends.